Welcome everybody to Wisdom Chats. I am Susie Birdie, your host, and this is part 2 of the interview with Braco Pobric. He is the author of the book Habits and Happiness. This is an old version. He's showing the newer version.
Same content, don't worry. Just so people don't get confused.
Exactly. Oh my God, it's the same book. It's the same book. For those who have watched part 1, it was delightful. It was really cool. Braco as a gift of introducing scientific research and complex ideas in very easy ways that you can actually implement in your life, which is very important. And we finished part 1 with the following statement. It is very, very important to find what it is that makes you happy. Whoa, this is a big one. So Braco, why is it important, and how people can actually find what makes them really happy? This is the $1 million question in today's days.
Yeah, I think, the reason I said it's really important that you find what does happiness means to you, because, we have so many definitions of happiness. And I'm not even going to get into that, academic definition versus me from applied psychology. And actually, I'll be just teaching this authentic happiness certificate program. But the reason that's important for everybody to come up with their own definition, because forget about all these research. It's about really what makes you happy. So I have so many exercises and suggestions, but maybe one that just came up to my mind is this. We can look at one of the happiness models that we know it works, and it's called PERMA. And it stands for P is for positive emotions, E is for engagement or flow, R is relationships, M is meaning, and A is achievement. Based on a lot of research, relationships are #1 predictor of happiness. Now, here's what happens. People think, well, but I don't have a partner. I'm single, or I just got divorced, or, I don't like my partner. That's not all the relationships. Yeah. Relationship is this, right? Two of us, even if it's, online, and I'm not recommending just Facebook chatting, but right now we see each other. We're not in the same room, but this is the relationships. The relationship is, seeing a homeless on the street and saying hello or trying to help. Relationship is, being on the line in a supermarket and talking to someone. But so let's go back to PERMA. So think about what brings you positive emotions. So that would be my question. So sit down, write down, what does bring you positive emotions? Right. And this is like joy. I'm not talking like high level, a definition of happiness, but positive emotions, joy, right? I know sometimes when I'm in my office in Princeton, and it's the end of the day, or it's even Saturday afternoon, beautiful day, maybe even not that great. You know what? I don't really eat much ice cream, but there's a little place there, and if I feel tired, I just gonna go have a scoop. It's fine, right? But it brings me a little positive emotions, and it doesn't really, I'm not gonna have ice cream every day. So what brings you positive emotions? Engagement or flow, and we can just spend a minute explaining, but it's basically, Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi did a lot of research on flow, and it's really what brings you in the present moment, right? So when you play, baseball, football, soccer, something that you are in the present moment and not thinking of past or the future, right?
Which I think it's a very important thing, what you're saying, because again, I just like to address, whoever's watching this video personally. Can you feel the difference between, happiness as a subject concept, as I wish I was happy, to breaking it into, I am having a scoop of my favorite ice cream, and I'm going to savor that ice cream, and I'm going to allow myself to be happy by having this ice cream. I'm even going to make like a little ritual between my office and the ice cream parlor, because I know that I enjoy that ice cream so much. No guilt, no control, no self-regulation, just having a wonderful time. and accepting and naming it as a special gift to yourself. This can have such an important place if we keep doing a lot of those small things, right, Bratzo?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, what you just said is the key. No guilt. I I connect to what I call circle habits with this, and it's something that, as far as I know, I introduced the term. I didn't get any big reward, and if somebody wants to take that, go for it. But basically, what the circle habit. So, how many of us? How many times you say, I'm gonna start, and I ask this question all the time, and it's just amazing. How many of us says, I'm gonna start exercising tomorrow. I'm gonna start eating better, healthier. I'm gonna start meditating. We keep saying these things, and then like a month later, nothing happens. And not only that we didn't do what we said we're going to do, but now we drive ourselves crazy. I can't believe this. I'm a failure. I said I'm going to do this, but I didn't. So that's what I call circle habit. So you really, if you get into this, stop it, right? So you really have two choices. One is Nike, just do it. It's hard, right? But some people do it. And the other one is put it aside until you are ready to do it. Meaning that if you say you want to start exercising, but you do what I did 8 years ago, you get up at 5, you have to leave your home 5:30, you come home like 7:30, 8:30, you have a dinner, you're exhausted, right? There's like no time. Put it aside and give it, say, 30 days, and then reevaluate. I'm not saying don't do it, but write the day down and reevaluate. Don't drive yourself crazy, and bring yourself down because you didn't do something.
And I think two things I would add to what you're saying, that I actually know it's true, and I also read in your book, is number one, if you're trying to implement a routine of any type, I'm going to start meditating, is to be very specific of what time of the day you're going to be doing, you're going to be actually doing. So it's interesting, the path of happiness is it is very linked with action, intention and action and planning, and then flowing through that path kind of thing. And so, okay, I'm going to have this amazing meditation, and it's going to be at lunchtime, because I can leave the office and I can sit on that bench that I know that not many people are passing by. I can have some quiet time, and I'm going to be breathing for 20 minutes, like that kind of specific, because it really helps when you have a plan and not get diverted, right? In so many distractions. I guess we live in a world that it's filled with distractions all the time, Facebook and beyond. And so like, having a very specific target to how and when. And the other thing I was going to say, and I ask you, is when you actually say, for instance, that wasn't possible for whatever reason, that plan B wasn't possible, you put aside your plan. When you reevaluate, what kind of premises do you take in account when you're reevaluating? Like, sure, what you lost by not doing it, or what would you have gained by doing it?
So what I reevaluate what are the chances of success. So when I was going to do exercise, I went through the same thing. I keep saying, I'll do it. And there was no time. And I kept reevaluating. And then at one point, my work changed. So I was able to stay half an hour later at home, so that I could start exercising. So really reevaluating the entire environment. Do I have resources today to start this? Do I have time? Do I have money? Do I have whatever that is? Right? Do I have
even a community that could, maybe a family member that could support me in doing it, right?
Well, that's actually the family member or there are actually two things that are very important. There's one thing that I call like 7 secrets of habits and happiness, and so that two of them are really accountability partner. That is the key. You want to establish some habits, make sure you have accountability partner. Now, accountability partner, it could be your friend, your colleague, your neighbor, your family, but somebody who is not going to drag you down. Somebody who's not going to say, why didn't you show up yesterday? right? You don't want that person, but somebody
Yeah.
who will support you, somebody who's hopefully done it before, or somebody who's doing it now, the same habit that you want to establish. So
Yeah.
that's the accountability part there. And then for some other folks, support group is huge, right? That's why we
Mhm.
have so many things that are based on support group,
Yeah.
from AA to weight loss.
So Bratzo, you talk about the power, the power of will, the willpower, and research has shown that willpower can be limited to people. It's like a muscle; it can get stronger, but in most cases, it's limited. So therefore, you shouldn't be um, using it all towards things that you like on your daily activities, if it is that you want to direct it to a specific task, because you may run out of willpower. Can you comment on that?
Sure. If you don't mind, just before I do, I wanted to
Yeah.
finish the PERMA so we
Yeah.
don't forget.
Yeah. Yes.
So we started with P, we started engagement flow, we did a little bit of relationships. So just think about what brings you, happiness in relationships. Does it mean just, for me, it was just going, when I go to work first thing in the morning, I would usually go to the pantry room, get my coffee, spend 5 minutes talking to people. All of a sudden I felt better, even if I didn't like the job. So again, think about relationship. Think about meaning. So that's M, PERMA, meaning.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't have to be big meaning. Why am I here, right? You don't have to solve that problem now. Maybe you've done it, right? But that's, you don't have to solve that problem. But it's like, why am I doing this? What is the meaning of me really sitting down and talking to Susie? That
Right.
I have a huge meaning, which is really helping other people becoming happier, becoming, improving their well-being, creating the new habits of happiness. So that's my meaning of doing this. So it's, you can find meaning in every little thing that you do. And the last one is achievement. And again, the achievement doesn't have to be, I got my PhD. It could be,
Mm-hmm.
you know what,
Mm-hmm.
I started cleaning up my room and I threw out 2 books. That's great. Right?
Yes.
So the little, so keep that PERMA and what brings you happiness out of PERMA, post emotions engagement,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
relationship
And
meaning.
and 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 the PERMA model is the basis for positive psychology, and it was developed by Martin Seligman from the University of Pennsylvania. And the whole idea of PERMA is that if it is that you attend to those elements, you can actually have a life that is worth living. Isn't it that what we all want? So it's really, again, going back to the principle of how it is that you're choosing to do what Bratzo is sharing with us in
Yeah.
terms of bringing every element of this equation in balance, so that you can have a little bit of each one of them, and that will help to sort of feed the structure of your life, and even help you think about new steps from that space onwards, isn't it? You're not going to feel depleted, because I think one of the worst obstacles for creativity is when we feel like we are powerless, and we're depressed, or that we have a victim mentality, or that we feel that there's no choice. And by applying simple little changes, things can dopamine can start to run stronger, right, Bratzo?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Bratzo is the master of dopamine.
Oh God, I try to get as much as I can every day. So going back to your question on willpower,
Okay, willpower,
we
yes.
don't have a lot of time to talk about a lot of research, but I will just mention that we all know that famous research by Roy Baumeister, and he basically he created this little lab. He pulled in 3 group of kids, students. He told them not to eat anything 3 hours before they come. And then, just so folks know, anytime we do research in psychology or any research, you basically have 3 groups. You have control groups. You have group that you tell to do one thing. You have group that you tell to do something else, and then you kind of can compare. So one group. So the kids showed up. And these sneaky researchers basically just had the freshly baked chocolate cookies. So the room felt so great. And they had the chocolate cookies right in the middle of the room. And on the other side, they had the radish. So the one group they told they can have as many chocolate chip cookies as they want. The other group that they told they can't have any chocolate chip cookies, but they can have as many radishes as they want. And the third group, they didn't tell anything, and that's the control group. So long story, what researchers, I don't know if you've ever seen these labs, but you have these glass, right? It's like in a police station, right? So the researchers could see through the glass, but kids couldn't see what's going on there. And, kids were good. Kids that they were told they can't have chocolate chip cookies, they didn't. But think, and basically, again, to cutting all of this research, what they really proved is that, as you said, that we have a limited amount of willpower. How much time we have? We don't have a lot of time to go through this research, but as you said,
we can do many other interviews in the future.
Yeah. just think about this. Yeah. If you were called into this lab and told not to eat 3 hours anything before you come, then you come in, then you have these fresh baked chocolate chip cookies, and then they stand in front of you. What would you think? Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I mean, that's my interpretation. This is not research. This is, this is ridiculous. They called me, they told me not to eat. Now they have the chocolate chip cookies. Now they tell me I can't have it. Oh my God, the other kids can't have it, right? So now, what are we doing? We totally depleting our willpower. We're dragging ourselves crazy, right? And that's why the kids who were told they cannot have chocolate chip cookies left this so-called exam 7 minutes earlier, gave up than the other kids who were told they can have as many. So what's the moral of the story? As you said about willpower, if you have something that's really important today and you have important meetings, something that is really important, don't struggle with the little things. In the piece of chocolate shop, have it. Don't even fight it. Don't fight little things. Keep that willpower for the important thing. Even if you don't remember anything else about willpower, but just remember this. I'm not saying every day have a huge meals and not worry about anything.
Yeah. But it's also true. It's also true that willpower can increase as a muscle. So yes, by exercising willpower more and more and more, you'll be able to, keep that level high.
So by creating these little habits that we discuss little by little, that's how you increase your willpower. You will see that all of a sudden you increase. By the way, there is a really good exercise that it's based on the research, but I had a lot of my students did it and they tell me it works for them. It worked for me. And that is the research that shows that if you brush your teeth with non-dominant hand for 21 days or more, you would increase your willpower. And what I would add to that, if you do anything you have never done before, right? In my experience and the research, I would say to create a habit takes 30 days, not 21, 30 days and longer in a row. Not like I do one time, right? And then I skip 5 days. But basically, just do something you have never done before, you'll increase the willpower. Take the stairs instead of the escalator. Have some fruit instead of cookie.
So I have a question about that, because what I hear a lot you saying is that discipline and consistency is really, or I should say, are the keys.
I don't know if I would call it discipline. I wouldn't even call it discipline because it's a very strong word. Some people say, I have no discipline. I think it's more just little by little, tiny bits. This small
But when you wake up at 5 o'clock, well, now you do it as a habit.
Right.
But in the beginning, didn't it require a certain amount of determination and discipline to make it a habit?
It had that big why. Why would I wake up at 5? I had a big why. Without why, forget about discipline. I mean, again, I'm saying this because some people struggle with the discipline. Some people just say,
it can be harsh. It's true.
It can be harsh.
I personally, I wouldn't call myself a disciplined person.
Yeah.
I'm more of the artistic type, and I sometimes work late nights and like to have late mornings, but I'm always trying to think like, what kind of practice and habit can help me to be a better person. And if that comes with a big why, as you said, I do it exactly. Yeah. So I'm very good with the exercise, and I'm very good with the eating habits. And I've developed them as an adult.
That's the
Um,
thing. That's the thing. You develop them little by little. And the only
yes,
reason, I mean, I agree. So don't take me wrong. I agree it takes discipline. But the only reason I'm very careful using that word because of
not to push people yeah, away of
yes.
the
It takes a
joy of
very little, to
yeah,
start changing our habits,
yeah.
little by little.
So, oh my God, there's so many things I want to ask you.
I
But,
know.
oh my God, oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
need hours. Yeah.
Oh, 3 hours, 3 hours. It's so cool. So, okay, this is getting so interesting here. So, I really love the work of Bruce Lipton and the
Mm.
biology of belief.
Oh, yeah.
And he's from Colorado. I used to live in Colorado. We have common friends, and it's just brilliant. You know what he has found, which is that beliefs can affect biology. And so, can you comment on how you see that amazing discovery affecting habits and happiness, as a consequence?
Yeah. I mean, I knew that believing in something or not believing has a big effect. We all know, most of us know about placebo effect, right? When they give you a sugar pill and people have the same result as the other group that has regular medication, right? So that is really belief. But what he proved, and what years ago, people thought he was crazy, he was kicked out of college, as far as I remember, is because he actually proved that when we believe in something, when we truly believe, that our body, all the way down to the cell level, our cells change. I mean, that's
Yes.
incredible. And same thing happens when we don't believe. So that's why when I do this, what I call 7 Secrets of Habits of Happiness, my number one is believe. You want to do something, you want to change, you want to create a habit, you want to change a habit, believe that you can do it. That's if you don't believe, I don't know if I can get up 5 o'clock. Don't even bother. Don't even
Right,
bother.
right, 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 right. The other thing that I think it also supports a lot what you said is that he says that the environment can also affect biology. In other words, if it is that you change your environment, you can actually change your beliefs, which is interesting. I will just go back to the example you gave us on part one of putting water in your fridge instead of a soda, because it's we can say the environment is what's inside of that fridge. So by breaking that that chain, I should say, you actually have a different response, because it's the environment, as yes, you're still cutting your grass, you're still feeling thirsty, but you expose yourself to a different environment by opening the fridge and finding water instead of
Right,
soda. So
right.
that helped you to change your belief about your liking even.
Yeah, I want to give another example, which is how you can how trigger can really change. To give you an example, I used to do another crazy exercise. I would go take a shower in the morning, and then I would just express, I would yell my gratitude. I would say, I'm grateful for my son. I'm grateful for my, I have a water. I'm grateful I can wash myself, right? Actually, one day our son was visiting. He goes, Dad, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm just expressing my gratitude. So, so what happened is, when I would do this, I would come in the shower, and right in front of me was a yellow wall, and that yellow wall was trigger for me to start my gratitude exercise. And this
Right.
was about 5, 6 years ago. And I'll never forget. We went on vacation, and like 2 days later, I said, "Oh my God, I didn't do my gratitude exercise." So here's what happened. You really need to then analyze it. And I go, "What happened?" You know what happened? There was no yellow wall. It was
Yeah.
a white wall, and my trigger was yellow wall.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, I changed the trigger. So my trigger now is when the water hits my body, that's the trigger for my gratitude. Now I can't miss it, because
Yeah.
every morning I take a shower, the water hits my body.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So think of that too,
Yeah.
creating
Yeah.
a trigger that makes sense, that you can take with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and as you said, the environment is important. That's why, if you want to change some habit, like stop smoking or something, they want to take you out of that environment, go from home
Mm.
somewhere else,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so that you can have totally different environment and start changing that hard habit.
Correct, correct. Um, so I would love, Bratzo, if you could share with us an exercise that you actually go in a lot of detail in your book, which is the breathing exercise and followed by affirmations. I think this is such a beautiful thing that everyone at home could start practicing and actually feeling the results, because this exercise is so heart opening and as we know, in positive psychology, gratitude is a major, major, major stepping stone to a lot of good positive emotions. So basically this combines breathing with gratitude and with bringing to consciousness things that actually are working in your life right now, that it's so easy to forget, in the busyness of our daily existence. It's so easy to forget.
You're referring to the 5 deep breath habit, right?
Yes.
So basically, this particular exercise, it's based on a work by Thomas Crum and based on really his 3 deep breath, that I extended it and created a little meditation. And what it is basically we take a 5 breath, and I'll walk you through, and then we can do it together. And so the first breath would be just to like take deep breathe in and breathe out. So maybe we can just do it together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first breath, and that will be also your 5th breath. So number 1 and number 5 will be deep breathe in and breathe out.
Through the mouth.
You could do either way. Do you do it through the mouth, right? Yeah, I think whatever you say.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, there are techniques that yeah, both
Exactly that you
could
use.
work well.
And then in the second breath, you would inhale again, and as you exhale, you would basically express your gratitude. So you would really prepare your gratitude note, if you will, right? And I give a few examples. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for the little thing. I can take a shower. I can wash myself. I have a water at home. I mean, really, just they're not little things, by the way, if you think about it. For a lot of people, they're not little things. So that will be the second breath, and we'll do it together. So think of your gratitude note, if you will. The third breath, again, we take another deep breath in and exhale. And then you want to focus on what is it that you want to be today. So I do this first thing in the morning. What is it you want to be today? So in my case would be, sometimes it was like, today I will be calm. Not I want to be, I will be, right? Today I will be patient. Today
I will be kind. I will be understanding. I will be loving.
Right. And then the 4th breath was, again, you inhale and you exhale, and then you loudly express really the thought that truly represents your ideal self, who you truly are. So it could be who you are. Don't think about who you're not, because often that's what we think. Who you truly are. I'm a loving, generous individual who always strives to do the right thing. That was really mine. I'm a kind human being who wants to help others. I'm a mindful individual, and I live in the moment as much as possible. None of us live in the moment all the time. And that would be 5th breath. So let's repeat briefly, then we'll do it together. And think of your own. So first is breathe in, breathe out. That's the first breath. Second breath is you inhale, and as you exhale, you express your gratitude. One gratitude note. The third breath is you inhale, and as you exhale, what do you want to be today? Today I will be. The 4th breath is you inhale, and as you exhale, who you are, or who you want to be, who you truly are. And the 5th is breathe in and breathe out. So I will not say anything loudly, so I will just let you and all of us to like do this for ourselves, but I will just count the breath. So
Okay.
I will just pick the finger one and let's just do 1, 2, 3. So let's do the first breath. Let's get started. Second breath, gratitude. Third breath. Fourth breath, who you really are as you exhale. Fifth breath, breathe in, breathe out. Then, when you do any breathing, give yourself a moment. Usually you want to, like, I like to do with eyes closed, but give yourself a moment, at the end, kind of before you close your eyes, just slowly maybe blink, and just slowly open your eyes.
Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it. This is something so easy and powerful to do every single morning. Every
I
single
just
morning.
recommend write this down. So write down what's your gratitude,
Yes.
write down what you want to be today, and write down who you are. I used to have this on my bike. I do treadmill more today, but it was all right on my bike so that I would sit on the bike. Here's it again.
Yeah.
I created the trigger. I sit, the exercise right there before I started biking.
Yeah.
And it was
In
home.
my experience, it is the constant repetition of this kind of truth about who we are and what we are intending to be that really triggers change. It's not like a big thing, hours in the morning. It's in between thoughts. It's climbing stairs. It's doing your bike. It's waiting on a line. There's so many opportunities in our days that we can apply those principles so easily, right?
Correct. And then, as you said, in the beginning, to create them, to be able to do it while you're waiting online, while you're running stairs, you do it consciously. Like maybe, again, for me, it was first thing in the morning. And again, that's another thing is like, that I really want to mention. Make sure you give a time to yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself. And, I talked about my mom and dad who didn't. Make sure I give myself first thing in the morning. It's my time. That's another reason I get up before my wife does. I need time for myself. And it's nothing. And it's not really, and I don't mean it in,
No. Yeah. That's very important.
Because
it's
when
not
I
selfish.
do,
It's not selfish. Some people think it's selfish. It's not.
No, I do it so that I will be able to be better husband. I'll be able to help my wife even more when I take care of myself. So help yourself first. You'll be able to help.
You should develop some programs for our husbands, Braco.
I know.
Hello, girls.
Exactly. Well, we'll have them to come take my authentic happiness.
Okay. So, so following your lead, please, can you share with us what you're doing and when your next programs are coming up? And if somebody wants to get in touch with you, what should they do?
Sure. Thanks so much. Yeah, I do. Again, like I said, this is really my calling. So I developed 15 positive psychology-based programs online. I have more than 30,000 online users from 166 countries. I can't really name that. So I'm really excited because I'm helping people all over the world. And then I do a lot of public workshops. And the latest one that I'm doing is a authentic happiness certification program that is in the process and will be accredited program, which is really big. It's actually same organization that accredited programs for Google and Rosetta Stone is accrediting my programs. Cool. And people will be able to get CE and CPD credit hours. And I'll be doing this in Princeton, New Jersey. Will be 8-week intensive, 2 days in person and then 8-week online. And then in addition, will be like hours and hours of online videos and research and books and it's just it's going to be great, not just for folks who really want to become happier, but also like for coaches and therapists, and that's really
Yeah,
usually
wonderful.
also come to my programs as well. So I guess if you put any link, but they can
Yeah,
find me on
absolutely,
Facebook,
absolutely, yes,
or or my email is Braco,
absolutely.
Braco at habitsandhappiness.com.
Wonderful. Bratzo, it's been a total pleasure. I'm feeling happier just to talk to you. Oh my God.
Same here. You know what, Susie? I'm just thinking about something now, actually. I'm going to send you a link. I would like your listeners to have access to one of my programs for free. So I'll send you a link with the coupon. They can come in and get the free program.
Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful. Yes, I'll make sure that it's included. It's
Sounds
included
good.
in in your video. Thank you. Thank you, Bratzo. It's been a pleasure. Wishing you all the happiness, success, and all the good things life has to offer.
Thank you very much. Same to you. It was such a pleasure and great discussion. It's interesting when you get two people who are so excited about topic such as helping others. Then you really have a good interview. So this is not just interview. This is
Yeah.
two professionals
It's it's
discussing.
it's the core of the matter, isn't it?
Yes,
It's the
exactly.
really real thing. And by the way, for the viewers, if you think that happiness is something that's not for you, know that there is some amazing good people and amazing good tools out there for you to use and to change your life. And we're just helping to bring some information to your plate tonight so
Yeah,
that you can ignite the change you want to see happening in your everyday existence.
exactly.
So thank you, Rod, so much.
Thanks, Susie. It was a
Uh,
pleasure.
this is Wisdom Chats. I'm Susie Verdi. Our guest tonight was Braco Pobric. His book, Habits and Happiness, is a must. Please make sure you look online and that you download the beautiful gift that our friend Braco offered us. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Pleasure.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.